So you'll see different adapters here. Say for example, you have an adapter called MS SQL ECC adapter. This is an adapter when you want to connect to an ECC application which is running on SQL Server database. So similarly, you have Oracle ECC. This is used when you want to connect SAP ECC application running on Oracle. Same we have BW adapter. Yeah. We have DB to ECC. Like we'll have a lot of adapters here. We just have to select them, and so it's already registered. So you just have to click on this register adapter, and then the adapter is installed. Or if you want to deploy a new adapter through SDK, through Smart Data Access SDK, you can develop your own adapter and say deploy, and then you can choose the respective jar files, and then you get that here. Then you can say register. Like this, you can build up your own adapters also. Yeah. Now, apart from the adapters what I've registered from this data provisioning agent, we also have some adapters by default which are given. So if you go to HANA database, you'll have a table called adapters, which will show you list of adapters what is being registered into HANA database. So these are the ones like say AC ODBC, generic ODBC, MS SQL database, DB2, all these are ready-made ones which are already delivered along with the HANA database. If you look at this Twitter adapter, MS SQL ECC adapter, BW, all this is been registered from the data provisioning agent. So I've installed this data provisioning agent. See, it says already deployed and what? It's already registered. So since I've registered with the HANA database which is connected here, I get to see these adapters here. So I can leverage these adapters and get connected to the different source systems here. So once we have the adapter, how do you connect to that? Okay. Say first case, through SDK, create remote connection, SAP ECC. This is my ECC system, which I would connect remotely. And I have this ECC system. When you look at the status, it is running on MS SQL database. It is running on SQL Server database. So how do I create this connection? So what I've already done is, look at this connection, EHP remote. This is my, generally how do you create the connection is, you just get into this provisioning folder, and you'll have remote sources, right click on this remote source. When you right click on this remote source, you get option as new remote source. Then just give some name of the remote source, and then choose the type of adapter what you would like to use. Say I would connect through MS SQL ECC adapter, then it'll ask you all the details and then give the corresponding details and then create a connection. That's it, nothing else. So I already created the connection like that. I have this as EHP remote. So I said name is EHP remote, and then I've got my adapter as, since my ECC is running on SQL Server database, I said adapter is MS SQL ECC adapter, and then it's running on the agent. Agent is, this is my agent. I have an agent registered here. and I give all the details. Instance name is some name, and port is some port 12345, and this is the IP address where my EC is running on. 1433 1434 are actually the port for your database, SQL Server databases, and the database name in here is EHP, and the schema name is the EHP small case, and then I just give username and password connected to this. I already have this connection available. Now when I expand this connection, it starts showing, when I expand it, it starts showing me all the tables from the ECC system. If you remember Z tables, Z sales, expand. See, this is a table Z sales, and in ECC I have a table Z sales. Can go and see this data. I've got something around 82 records here. Okay. So now let consume this table as in my HANA database. Right click on this table. It is not refresh. This is my table. So when I right click on this table, you should get this option as add as virtual tables. Okay. Now just take some schemas. 9 cubics BODs. I'll take this. I want the name of the table as, let's say, VT Z sales. Great. So it creates this virtual table in my schema. Now when I go to the top, to my schema, I should see a virtual table. See VT underscore sales. Now this table also shows so when I right click on this, but I don't know, my context menu is not getting. So when you right click on this, you can start seeing the data here. I haven't done any loading, nothing. Straight away I get to see this table as virtual. So I see 1 or 2. Now if I go to this table and create a new record, as soon as I save it, I'll see that new record posted as this. Because this is a virtual table which is virtually reading the data from the source like this. So this is the concept of smart data access, where you basically connect to the sources remotely and access the results. Tables as virtual tables. Provisionings, remote sources. When you go to this ECC source, this is about Z tables, but if you go to application tables, you see logistics, sales. If I want to go to the sales, I want to get into sales orders to load. So you get to see this VBAP, all these tables. I can also access these tables. Right click, add as virtual table. Say VT underscore VBAP. I want this virtual table to be created under this schema. Create. Now if you go to your schema, you see a next table. So this is virtually reading the table from your source. So if I go about changing the sales order in the ECC, it automatically gets reflected into this table. The smart data access consuming ECC as virtual source. Yeah. Now I told you I have two connections, two servers here. There's one with 00 instance. Now this is a different system. See, Cubex 00, and this is a different system 01. So by using smart data access, I can also connect one HANA database to another HANA database as a source, remote also. Say in this new system, I have a lot of schemas here. Let's say I would like to make sure this table, remote, there's a table called Z sales tab, which I would like to consume this in my HANA database, okay, from remote HANA database. So remote sources, right click, new remote source, REM, HANA. So I'll use HANA ODBC. Index server is fine. Server, what do you want to connect? SAP Cubex. Port is the 30015, because instance is 00, so instance is 00 for this. Port will be 30015. Username. So execute. That's it. It has created this connection. Source is created. Connection is made. So this is my connection. When I expand this connection, it will show me all the schemas of that HANA database. From this, which schema I wanted? Remote. This is a table I want. Right click. I'll add as virtual table. VT. And I want this virtual table to be created in my. So if I go to my HANA database, I'll see another virtual table which is actually showing the data flows. There is another database. So both these tables from my schema and this virtual table and the physical table will be same. For example, if I do some any changes on this, so I insert a new record here. So as I insert a new record into this HANA source database, then if I refresh, it automatically reflects into my virtual table also. Okay. So that was a case to consuming next. Okay. So next is by using smart data access, can I connect to the databases? Other day I showed you a SQL Server database I had. Let's say this is a SQL Server database. Now using smart data access, I would like to connect to this database like EHP and then consume these tables as virtual tables. Yeah, if I go here, if I say new remote source, I also have an adapter called MS SQL generic ODBC. We will be using this when you want to connect to the MS SQL database. This will be non-SAP database from MS SQL. If I'm doing this, look at this, very, very important. When I'm trying to connect to this SQL Server database, is it asking me the schema name and all those stuff on the details, or does it ask me a DSN name? It is asking me data source name. Data source nothing but the DSN. You remember? And how many of you remember ODBC? Now we create this ODBC DSN. You remember this? ODBC administration, and you basically install the SQL Server MS SQL drivers. Then you create an add, and then you should see your SQL Server database drivers. SQL Server, then you say finish, then you give all the details, then create a DSN here. The creating this way, if you're creating DSN, this is like Windows based. Okay. So now the requirement here is we are trying to connect my HANA database to this SQL Server database. So and HANA is installed in SUSE Linux. So in the SUSE Linux, we have to install ODBC drivers. ODBC drivers for MS SQL, and then configure DSN, data source name, within the SUSE Linux. That's a different configuration. So we have to initially configure all those SQL Server ODBC drivers and then create a DSN in Linux, and then and with this DSN it will be able to ping the SQL Server database. Then once the DSN is created, I can use it in smart data access. Let me just try showing you if possible. What it was, we cannot see that, but it's already been configured. So I've done the ODBC drivers. That's all admin complete into Linux. Okay. So since that is already done, and they have given us the DSN name as MSSQL. I already created that. Okay. Look at this. They have given a DSN name as MSSQL and some username and password. I've used those DSN what is already created there, and then I created it and activate. My connection is created here. Yeah. Now when I expand this, it will take some time. It will be a bit slow. Okay. EHP expand. It starts showing me. Okay, very good. It will start showing me all the tables from the schema EHP. So we create a DSN, install the specific ODBC drivers in CC Linux server and configure a DSN. Then use this DSN in creating a connection to your database. It will take some time to read. Let's not wait for it. Okay, boss. And apart from this, by using smart data access, we can also remotely connect to flat file also, like CSV files. So how do I do that is like, let's say you've been given with, let's say I've got this folder with the flat files. Let's say I've got this a CSV file called contract data. So once we've been given with CSV file, what you do is you generate something called configuration file. You have to generate a configuration file which will give the details of this file. What columns do we have? What type of file is this? You can see this configuration file. Whether it's what type of file is it, file format, what columns do we have, what are the length and date type of each of these columns. We call that as configuration file. So first we have to generate the configuration file, and then we can start accessing them. So if you have to access, we have to configure some specific preferences, proper configure. So go to preferences, adapters, file adapter. Here we specify the path. Look at this, my path here is C users administrator desktop flat file, so I want to consume from there. So I said C user SAP data provisioning, C users, it is user, C user SAP data provisioning agent flat files. Viewed access. Now I've got these flat CSV files and the configuration files. I need to specify the root directory from where I need to refer my files. File formats are in the same folder, because data files could be in one folder, formats could be in one folder. So I have file formats and data files are in the same folder. Then last give the token. We're okay. We already supplied it, but to get the token, you can use this commands. You'll have some command here. Say when you say who am I and then say user, you get this SID. That will be your token. So I can execute that if required. You can go to command prompt. You get this SID here. Mark this. Copy. Specify it here. Then apply. That will be your token. Then you'll also have some command. Let's say you've been just given with only data file. How to generate the configuration file? So you'll have a file called create file format in the data provisioning utilities. When you install your data provisioning, you'll have a batch file called create file format. By using this file, batch file, you can generate your configuration file. You can just run that file with this command saying create file format file. This is my data file and hyphen configuration directory into this folder. For example, I have contract date, right? Let's say for contract date, I don't have this configuration file. So how do I generate it? I need to get into this part, into the utilities where I had my C user SAP data provisioning agent utilities. I need to get into this path to execute that batch file. So get into this utilities. Then I have this file create file format. hyphen file. Which file are you referring? You want to generate for flat files, BODS exercises. This is complete path. And then slash contract data, right? This is my file, contract data CSV. Then I need to specify parameter, what is my configuration folder directives. And the same I want. CF config dir, okay. And I want the configuration file to be created into the same folder. So when I do this, it automatically creates a configuration file saying contract data.cfg, okay. So like this, once you have set the preferences where you set up the root folder and the configuration files, and my configuration files are available, I can have the connection created. So how do you create? Right click and say new remote source. RM file something. I'll say I use this option file adapter. So because of the root folder and director folder what you configured in my DP agent, it takes them. The token, I'll have to give the token. Activate. That's it. Once it is created, REM file, I expand this. You start seeing all those contract data, contracts, customer. Now select this contract data, CSV file, add this as virtual table. So you can start consuming this flat file data as virtual contract. VT contract. So it's actually reading data from this flat file source. This is a file. It have headers, row number so and so. First row is not read because it's an header row. Start date, contract number, start date, end date, and contract volume. So like this, we can also consume flat file data also as a virtual table by using smart data access. That was case 3. Non-SAP DB. Sure about flat file. So this is smart data access plus. Okay. Next we'll have to get into smart data quality and integration. SMQI. So next topic, smart data quality. It's an extension towards the smart data access.
Sir, what is the source HANA database? In case 2, that is SDA create remote connection to source HANA database.
Means the HANA database 1 is connected to HANA database 2.
Achha, okay.
Okay. By using smart data quality and integration, it's like this. This was introduced in newly in SP9, and it had got a lot of bugs, but then they improvised in SP10. Yeah? But initially in SP9 they came out with this concept. So the actual concept of this is EIM. EIM is Enterprise Information Management. Like, this is actually the concept of BODS. So what they want to do is, whatever you're able to do with BODS, like connecting to the source and then leveraging all the kind of transformations and building a data flows, they wanted to have the same kind of concept within HANA. By using the same concept of BODS has been introduced into HANA as part of this concept, smart data quality and integration bus. So by using this smart data quality integration, we can take some source, perform some transformations, perform some target, and build your data flows. Yeah. And these data flows, we call them as HDB flow graphs. Okay. As part of the, see, in BODS we was calling it as a job. Then we had data flow, right? Here we call them as HDB flow graphs. As part of HDB flow graphs, you'll have source object, you'll have same like APD, you'll have transformations, then you'll have target object. Now once we have this HDB flow graph, these HDB flow graphs can be executed in batch mode or real-time mode. So this once you build up your HDB flow graph, they can be executed in the batch mode or in the real-time mode also. Simple requirement is three. See, through smart data access, we are able to consume the data from the source systems virtually, but we are not able to do any transformations on those data. We are able to just see the data as it is. But if you want to do further level transformations of that, then I can use smart data quality and integrations. Yeah. So I cannot just introducing you to this new topic. Case 1, batch mode. Take table from some virtual table and apply some filter and to physical table in HANA. Okay. So how do I do that is, one second, I think that is opened. We can see, yeah, this is open. Now look at this. Now I have all the tables open from from that MS SQL database. It took some time, but and I'll have that Y sales or Z sales. See, I have this table Y sales, and then add this virtual table ET Y sales from MS SQL. I can say this is in 9 cubics viewed. So if you go to my database, Y sales, so there are 18 records. Now if I go to my SQL Server database, Say what is y sales table. So there are till the document number 18, and I still see the same document number 18. So like this, I can even consume the table virtually from remote database also. Okay. Okay. Now let's get on with smart data quality and integration. How do we build the data flow source? So for working on this HDB flow graph, we'll have to get into HANA native development. And I'll have to create my own projects and work out on that. So let me create new project, then work it out. So in the desktop, I would like to create some new folder, local folder. Mine smart. Okay. Now let me create a new workspace. I'll map this workspace to my local folder. Okay. I'll create a project, new access engine project. Don't share. So 9 cubics. Smart cube. I want to use this location as into my. I just create my own folder. So I get this project. Now I would like to activate this project, share this project to the server. I select 9 cubics. Okay, I have this project created. After this, I can create a subfolder. Okay. Now I would like to create a flow graph. Right click, new, say others. SAP HANA. Get it application development. Sorry, the database. Get it database development. You'll have something called flow graph model. Yeah. Say next. Yeah. See now, flow graph model for activation as procedure or task plan. If you want to go with real-time job, then it will be task. If it is background, then stored procedure. So we will say 9Q001. Okay. This will be the flow graph model where you got build your flow. You'll have all source of objects, you can use predicate analytics library, ready-made functions, clustering, you'll have ready-made functions. Business functions can be used. Yeah. The others, now suppose if I make this as a, it will be, if you see the properties of this flow graph, because you selected a stored procedure, it will be set as batch mode procedure, right? Suppose if I change it as a task, see, it does not work out, but if you change it as a task, see, it automatically brings in another set here. Look at this here, but to write data provisioning here. You see something data provisioning. You'll have all this pivoting, reverse pivoting. You can get those. So we'll see that. So this is my flow graph. What I want to create. First thing is you go get into properties of this flow graph. It's saying the target is this big schema. You want to target, because see, with what are the definition of the flow you're going to do, it is going to create a stored procedure, and the stored procedure will be created. You want the procedure to be created in which schema? You can specify this. I want the procedure to be created in, say, 9 cubics BODS. Okay. It says there's some 9Q. It is cannot start with number. Let's put this. Let's see if it throws error, then we'll see. That's fine. It's starting with number, so I just changed it. Fine. The source, what I want is I just want to have some virtual table. You can say drag this data source. It will ask me the table VT underscore. It'll show, you can use virtual table or normal table, anything. For now, I'm just using the virtual table. VT sales. That will be my source. Then I would like to apply some filtering. So connect this data. After get the source, first of all set this properties. 9 cubics, this is all fine. So not to worry on anything. Then connect this data to this input. Now once you get the input to the filter, I need to configure the properties of the filter. And I would like to have the filtering done. Filter expression is where WARK is equal to EU or only euro currency I want to take. That's my filtering expression. Then after filtering, I would like to collect that into a table, physical table in HANA. So this table, I'm not yet created the table. So in BODS, you can use template table, which automatically creates it. Same way here also I can use this template table. And go to properties of this template table. I want this template table name to be T. T is for table or demo. And I want this in schema 9 cubics BODS, this table. Catalog object should be this the same name. And I want to drop and create roll load, and I want this table to be column store. Okay, truncate. Okay. Now connect this output to this table. So like this, I've built a simple. You can use join, sorting, all those. You can also use stored procedure here. Now, since you create this as a batch mode, when I basically activate this, sorry, when I activate this data flow, it automatically creates one stored procedure. Okay, insufficient privileges. Nine cube XP. Okay. So based on this definition of the data flow, it would have created a procedure for me. Go here, get into 9 cubics BODs procedure. Look at this name. So and so 9Q001. This is my procedure. It also creates a template table. What was my template table? T underscore demo is. It also creates a template table, but this template table will have no data in it yet. So when does it get the data? When you run this flow. So when running the flow is nothing but this running of this procedure. So what two ways I can do? I can go to SQL editor. I can say call. I can use this procedure. I can execute this. This is one way of doing it. Or even from this flow, you can say drop down here. There are two options: execute or open. If say open in SQL editor, it automatically brings that call function here. Okay, either ways you can do. I can say execute. So once this is procedure, I executed it. Once this procedure is executed, means it has triggered this flow graph and filled my table. So I get to see only euros. Like this, you can build your flow, and the same data flow can also be triggered as a task and can be triggered in real time. But I cannot show real time because I don't have. There's some still licensing problem. So like this, you can build up any sort of data flows like this. And the logic is once we have the stored procedure, we don't run in the real time. We don't run this manually. We can trigger this through something called task we create as part of HANA native development. We can create something called access job. It's a new others. There's something access job scheduler file. Job 99 something. Let's create this. Here in the action, it's giving a template. In the action, you can say, you can give your procedure name. Then as per this cron style, you can say like for the yearly, monthly, daily job, and then you can set this job and then activate it. Invalid file content. Year Column will have some style of specifying the scheduling. We just set this out like this, and that's okay. And then once you do this, then there will be a job which is scheduled like this with excess job, and this procedure will be triggered, and the data flows will be running continuously. So this is what they want to bring in, this concept of smart data quality and integration. Okay, this is only just I can introduce you to this topic because no one is using this. But still, if you want to enhance your knowledge on this, then go to YouTube. Then you'll have a SMQI. Smart data quality integration. You can get in, and you'll have a set of videos here. Like you'll have some 38 videos. Just try to go through those videos. It's nothing to be worried because pretty much is on the configurations. Don't have to worry so much. So you can use these videos to get in if you required, but don't spend time on this. This is just to know that there was a new concept introduced as smart data quality integration, where you could have built your flows. I can show you one. There. Let's say this time I'll set this as a plan, task plan. So see, now properties, task plan, and if you want to set this as a real-time job, you can set this as a real-time here. So this will be scheduled as a real-time job. Now in the task, if you see data provision, date generation, row generation, case, pivot, unpivot, lookup, cleanse, table comparison, map operation, history preserving, these all are for like similar to your BODs. So see, only when I go with task, I get to see, right? That is a bug. So those problems have been solved in SP10. So and still they'll improvise more on the transformations. Then this becomes more like an ETL tool also. So they say at the end of the day, they say in HANA it's not just database. We can also build your data flow and leverage it as an ETL tool. So their intention is by using smart data access, you connect your source systems to this as a remote source. Then start consuming those virtual tables as source in your smart data quality and build your data flows and do further level of transformations. And these transformations can be done on real time. That's their target. But it is still in the very much initial stage. A long way to go for this topic. Okay. So just know there's a concept like this. Don't worry much on that. Okay. So any doubts, boss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, hello.
Yeah.
Virtual table means whenever you are extracting from source, at the time only it will come to data, then we need to use that one, right? I mean, it is taking time, right? So instead of consuming data in the original table, we are consuming a virtual table. So if you are using this technique, it is taking loading time is increased, right?
No, boss. Say I just have on a database. I would like to do some loading without using BODs or SLT server. Yeah. So with this flexibility, what I can do by using smart data access, I'll connect that data source system to my HANA as a remote source. Okay. And I'm able to consume those tables, of course. But if I'm consuming those tables since they are virtual, I'm not able to do any transformations on those tables. So for that, I can use this concept of smart data quality and integration, where I'm going to build a data flow similar to your BODs, where I can use any table, physical table or virtual table as a source, and then do further level of transformations on it. Okay, and then get the transformed data loaded to the physical table and then do reporting. Okay, you can understand virtual table as if it's like a connection to the source. Then start using that to load. Okay, it's like a data source. Okay. Okay, boss.
Okay.
Sir, one more question. We said that we cannot do transformation in SD, I mean smart data access when we consume that virtual tables, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
transformation in the sense we cannot use them in the, use them as an analytical view or calculation view or
No,
attribute
we
view.
can use.
Is that mean?
No, no, not that. So can I use this virtual table? Yes.
Oh, okay.
So when I said transformations, what I mean to say is, while referring the data from the source, you can refer as it is whatever the data we have in the source, the same data is referred as a virtual table. Yeah. But so if you
You
want,
cannot modify
yeah, you
anything
cannot.
on the
It's
data.
not modified. Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Okay, so only you just consume whatever data that you
Yeah,
got.
whatever the data we have in the source, the same data is consumed in as a virtual table. The transformations are not
Sir,
perfect.
yeah, and is that the difference between SLT and this smart data access, sir?
Uh, SLT is a separate server, right? Smart data access is actual concept within it's a component of HANA database itself. SLT is a separate server, and SLT is physically putting the data into your HANA database. But smart data access is a virtual access from the remote source. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So what are features are available in SLT and BODs? All features are available in SMQI, right, sir? I mean, what are the transformation of data we can achieve in BOD?
Still, it is a very initial stage of it. They just
Okay.
introduced the tool. Yeah.
So in that case, if
Long way
you
to.
want real time, you need to go. Okay.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah. So in the case, if you want real time data, we need to go for SLT only. It's not for SMQI. You mean to say?
No, in SMQ also you can get real-time data. Once you configure this agent and the agent is being registered separately and it is integrated to HANA database perfectly,
Okay.
then you can go with real-time also.
Mm-hmm.
But only what I'm saying is the options what is available for transforming the data like pivoting, unpivoting, it is not so strong like BODs. If you look at this creating this flow, you only have these options now. Look up and still you might, but in BODs you have a lot more, right? Quality transformations, data quality, yeah. You have something like cleanse, but not so much can be done. But what I'm saying is it is not so much rich like your BODs, but it's still it's in the initial stages. That's what I mean to say. So going forward in the long run, and someday you find this becoming they say that if you just buy HANA, it will be an in and out tool for as ETL, as data staging, modeling, and everything. It will be one tool for everything. They'll not say you need
So
ODS, all those. They'll say if you just buy the enterprise HANA licenses, you will have the flexibility for ETL can be done within that, and you can do modeling, database, everything can be done within HANA. That's what they say.
Okay. As of now, no one is using this SMQI.
No,
is it,
no,
sir?
no, 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 no. They just introduced in SP9. Still, there are no, there are the customers. You don't see many customers on SP9 yet. Yeah, just in
Yeah.
SP7 or SP8. Yeah.
Uh, so it's the same case as of now, is it, sir?
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. SD also in the same situation, is it?
Smart data access. It's there. It's already. It was there already from SP7. Yeah.
It is there, but yeah, I got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Some people are using it. If you look at one customer I know, they are using it like this. And I feel only in this scenario it makes sense. They have
Okay.
BW with on HANA, yeah. They have
Yeah.
ECC on HANA, yeah.
Okay.
And in ECC HANA you'll have this HANA Live. We'll discuss on that. There will be some ready-made views, yeah. And
Yeah.
these ready-made views can work only on the tables relevant to ECC, okay. So what they've done is by using smart data access, they connected this HANA database of ECC to HANA database of BW as a remote source. Yeah. They have connected HANA database of ECC as a remote source to HANA database of BW. Then consumed all those tables as all the standard table like VBAC and all those tables also as virtual tables. Yeah. And leveraging these virtual tables, they have you are leveraging this HANA Live in BW HANA. Because HANA Live needs these standard tables of ECC. They're referring to the standard tables of ECC from HANA ECC to this BW HANA by using smart data access. So in that case, I get all those tables of ECC here. Then leveraging these tables, they built HANA Live in BW on HANA. Then leveraging this HANA Live for reporting. HANA Live is nothing but ready-made views, ready-made calculation views. Yeah.
Okay. But it's HANA Live is altogether different kind of tool or
No, not tool. It is an
application kind of.
rapid deployment solution which has been given as ready-made views.
Yeah.
And to speed up the implementation. So what they've done is they've given ready-made views, assuming that your ECC will have so and so tables. Okay. So when I want to use that same HANA Live views in BW, I don't have those ECC tables in BW, right? So I'll connect these ECC tables to my BW as virtual tables, get those tables as virtual, then implement these views which are leveraging these tables and use them.
Okay.
We'll see that HANA Live, but just understand there is a concept of EAM in HANA. So slowly they'll try to push HANA as an end-to-end warehousing solution. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sir, do we have? Are we going to discuss anything related to unstructured data where we use Hadoop and then transform that data into HANA and then do
Yes,
reporting?
here we can use Hadoop. Yeah. See if you see.
Yeah, but yeah, when you show me that ODBC connections, I could see Hadoop.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm not good at Hadoop because I don't know anything on this Hadoop system. If I know something, I know connecting is not a
Yeah.
big issue. If I say Hadoop, but I don't, we have to create a DSN and then connecting, but I don't know how to consume the structures of Hadoop at all. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because yeah, why I asked is like we are using these two, software, applications, but yeah, we are facing few difficulties. So I just asked.
So you're using smart data access connecting Hadoop?
No, we are using HANA as well as Hadoop, but Hadoop is in initial stage, so they are trying to consume those things. But yeah, that is in,
Yeah. See, if you want to get
not in India, it is some part of Europe, but we are working for the client. So
because I'm not good, I have got no knowledge on this Hadoop at all. I don't know the structures because see, I'm showing you connecting SQL Server database because I know SQL Server, so I can show you. If I have knowledge on Hadoop, I could have built some sample structure and then shown you consuming that.
Yeah, we are using DB2 instead of the other tables. Yeah.
Yeah, DB, if you know the DB, if you have DB2, you can connect because DB2 also will have DB2 ODBC.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Only thing is you need to install DB2 specific ODBC drivers
Yeah.
and then configure your DSM, then use it. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. How to create? So you don't have to worry about how to create this ODBC drivers or DSM. Don't worry on that. That is pure Linux admin. Don't worry on that. Yeah. If you need to make connection decisions, then which one we should prefer, SLT or Smart Data Access? So preferably going with BODs to extract and load into HANA. But if there are any specific scenarios where they wanted to have some real-time replication of data, then I'll go with SLT. Yeah. Because if I use SLT, I don't have the concept of leveraging extractors. If I'm not leveraging extractors, there's no point in extracting data from SAP system, because if I need to simulate one logic of an extractor, I need to bring in some 20 to 30 tables and rebuild the logic again. Doesn't make sense. So I would like to leverage the existing logic behind the extractors and extract the data. So BODS gives me the flexibility of extracting from data sources. So I'll preferably use BODS only in specific cases where they wanted to have real-time reporting. Then I can leverage SLT. Yeah. Okay.
So as of now, real time we are not using any smart data access, right? So based on our requirement, if it is real time, we will go for SLT. If we want to consume data sources, we will use for BODs, right, sir?
You can also use smart data access because, as you rightly commented, if I use smart data access, I have performance problems. Right? That's where I was telling. There's a customer. This could be best case for smart data access, where both source and target both are HANA, right? So this can handle the performance, right? Yeah.
Sir?
Mm-hmm.
Sir, SLT and these BODS can be leveraged with the DB2 as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I told you SLT can extract from SAP or non-SAP also, right? Source could be anything, but SLT cannot push data to DB2. No. SLT can extract data from DB2.
And do the transformation as well.
Yes. But SLT can have only two targets, either HANA or BW. That's it. It cannot have anything. Yeah.
So by using SLT, can we push the production data to development to do our validation? That thing you can achieve in SLT, sir?
Production too?
If we are developing some development changes, we want to test all scenarios. In that case, we want production data to in development. So in that case, which is the best way to dump production data to development?
In that case, they'll do system copy, but not this way.
But in BODS, we can push data to development also. That option is there.
Can push from anything to anything. That is called data migration projects. But generally, when they want to refresh the data in quality from the production, they'll do client copy, data refresh. Okay. But when you want to load only certain data, then you can use BODs. But when you want to have complete refresh, then why do you want to use BODs? You can use client refresh. Right? Yeah. Okay, boss. We'll stop it here today, and then tomorrow we'll get on to reporting, boss. Okay. So tomorrow I'll touch on the component like WebB, Design Studio, all this, and give you hands-on, like show you just how to use those tools, and then from there you should explore those tools. That is what we're going to focus on tomorrow. Yeah. Thanks.